चलिए, let's begin. Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jïänäïjana-çaläkayä cakñurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupaha kadamahyam dadati swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute
Haribol.
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. We are on chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga. We did 8 shlokas yesterday. We are going to read some shlokas and then we are going to try to understand it. This chapter especially focuses on Dhyan or meditation or Sankhya Yoga. From chapter 2 onwards, Bhagavan started explaining, and now here he will explain everything very clearly. And yesterday we discussed Bhagavan is not giving any mantra or any yantra or any devis or any god, not even himself. He's not talking about, he in 5th chapter where he ended, only one shloka he spoke about himself in the end. But before that, he has spoken about breath and meditation. And he said what did he say? He said, shut off all your external sense objects, your mind from everything. Focus on the third eye and then breathe through the nostrils in such a manner that the breath is flowing equally in both the nostrils. So your incoming breath and outgoing breath, they are equal. And when you practice like this, after some time, the breath will get suspended. The duration, suspended means the duration between two breaths will be long. So Bhagavan started from there. And now Bhagavan is going to continue the same thing again and again. And he's saying, what I'm saying, that a person who is a renunciant or a person who is living in the world, both can practice, and person who is living in the world or person who is left, both are equal. We have to consider both of them equal. One is greater than the other. We should not consider it like that. A true renunciation, Bhagavan says, is renouncing the desire for sense gratification. So if you're living in the world, you're living for others, you're not desiring anything from others, it's your duty to do certain things, you're doing your duty for the sake of doing duty, then you are a renounced person while living in this world. Bhagavan is now explaining yoga. And in yoga, whether you are living in this world or whether you renounce the world, number one thing what you have to do is control the mind. Everywhere he's telling, renounce your desire for sense gratification, renounce your desire for sense gratification. Where is that sense gratification? Where is the desire for sense gratification? It's in the mind. So one has to focus on that mind. And Bhagavan starts from there. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Bhagavan, when he says he's talking like third person, because I told you, whenever he's explaining Jnana Yoga, he'll talk like a third person. But who is that conditioned soul? When we read, it's not just mere words. It is directed towards us. Who is that conditioned soul? Somebody else. No. Us. Our soul. Us. Soul is me. That soul is conditioned, embodied in this body. So Bhagavan is saying, we got conditioned in this body. How to come out of it? We are suffering because of this body. This body is suffering. Because of the bodily interactions, we are suffering. That suffering, where is that suffering? In the mind. How did we get into the body, first of all? And how can we come out of this bodily cage, bodily prison? We cannot go and commit suicide. We can't to come out of the bodily prison. We cannot end life to come out of the bodily prison. And Bhagavan already said, one prison is gone, next prison is ready. Birth after birth. But we want to come out of this. Bhagavan said, do all the karma, surrender unto me. How do I do that, Bhagavan? Train your mind. Train your mind. Till now your mind was in the world, trained for the world. Now train it for me. The teachings that I'm giving you in Gita, practice. If you train your mind correctly, you will be free of this conditioning of this body and you will not have to take another body anymore. Simple. How do we do that? Okay, Bhagavan, got it. How do we do that? One must deliver himself with the help of his mind. Okay, Bhagavan, where is the mind? He will go on saying. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of the friends. And for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. For one, 7th Shloka. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. For he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are the same. Yesterday, I told you the story of Angulimal and Bhagavan Buddha. Angulimal was throwing so much cuss words to Buddha, but Buddha was not agitated at all. He was not agitated because he had controlled his mind. He knew the working of the mind. If somebody tells us something, we get agitated. We lose our sleep. We get angry. Why? Because we have not trained our mind like Buddha did. All the great ones, they train their mind so that it never gets agitated. It goes back to its original state. What is the original state? The original state is a state of tranquility, peacefulness. Our mind is always ruffled. We have never tasted it also. But once you taste that stage of bliss, you will never want your mind to be in ruffled state at all. It takes hard work. It takes some sacrifices. The biggest sacrifice is cutting off your worldly distractions. And that worldly distractions means a lot of things. You work for the sake of working, but when you're meditating, then there is no distraction. So one has to work for that. As I told you, I'm going to explain you as per Bhagavan Buddha only, his teachings only. Bhagavan said, a person who is said to be established in self-realization is called yogi, and who is fully satisfied by the virtue of acquired knowledge of self-realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it is pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. I have discussed yesterday how I went to practice this in reality. Literally, I took it so seriously. I literally took whatever Bhagavan said seriously. Okay. Bhagavan then went on saying what qualities you have to develop. Shloka number 9. Surin mitra udasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhushva api cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. A person is still considered advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, neutral people, the mediators, the envious, friends and enemies, the pious and sinners, all with an equal mind. And we ended up on this shloka, what Bhagavan meant. And have they done it? Yes. I told you the stories of Valmiki. I told you the story of Angulimal. And there are so many stories. When we open the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many stories like this. We'll go to the Shloka 10. Yogi yunjit satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki chitatma nirashira parigraha. How is the transcendentalist? He's always engrossed in thinking about his Atma, about his soul. Where is the Atma? Yesterday we learned Atma represents your body also. Atma represents your mind also. Atma represents your soul also. Atma has different meaning. So a person, a transcendentalist, he knows the interaction of the body with the mind, with the consciousness, which is the body of the soul. A person who is always engaged, who is engaging his body, his mind, his consciousness to be in the supreme. Supreme means that there is no God's name here, right? God is not even taking his name. Bhagavan is saying he's not even taking his name because he is teaching us Sankhya, which is mentioned in the Vedas. So he's not saying, focus on me. No. In the supreme consciousness, supreme energy, super consciousness, nirakar, whatever you call it. In the supreme, whatever that highest is. He engages his body, mind, self in relationship with the supreme. And what does he do? He should live in a secluded place. Very important part. Very, very important part. When Bhagavan says every word has weight. Practice Sankhya Yoga. And I have practiced it, I know it. To practice Sankhya Yoga, it is very difficult if your mind is distraction, if it's distracted with the world, and if you think, oh, 1 hour daily practice, I will get it. No. You will really have to work. You have to really take break from everybody and say, okay, I am practicing, please do not disturb me. for 10 days, for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months. Take a break. Take a break from everything. Cut off. Leave your home and go somewhere. Go in some mountain, stay there, where there is no distraction to the mind. Because this Sankhya Yoga is only interaction with your mind. You're only acting on your mind. The only sadhana is focusing on the mind. And the mind cannot be distracted. It's like an operation. When a surgeon goes to operate a patient, his mind cannot go here and there. He is on the operation. If he goes here and there, he may do a mistake. So when you're practicing Sankhya Yoga, and I encourage people to do it, okay, this is because it is very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So when you practice these things, you must do. Go, take a break, maybe first start with two nights, somewhere out. Then go for a 1 week break, then go for a 10 days break, then do 15 days break. But you do it regularly. Then go for a 1 month break, 3 weeks. Just cut off from the world. Off the phone, shut off the phone, no seeing, nothing. Cut off. Seclusion means complete seclusion. And practice. Practice. How will you start the practice? Some hints he has given. So let's read those shlokas, then we will get into the practice. He should live alone in secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. What else? Shuchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasana atmanaha nachu nati uchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram taitraikekagram mana kritva yachittendriya kriyaha upavishyasane yunja udyogamatma vishuddhaye. So to practice such kind of yoga, one should go to a secluded place and they should lay a kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin and then put a soft cloth on that. And the seat should neither be too high, the seat should neither be too low. And then one should be situated in a sacred place. Sacred place. The yogis should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga. For what? To purify the heart. The word is to purify the heart. How will you purify the heart? By controlling the mind and the senses and the activities and fixing the mind on one point. So no God, he's not saying focus on me, no yantra, point on the yantra, or no idol, nothing, no mantra, nothing. Yogi should go in a secluded place, put a nice asan, sit on the asan, and then fix the mind to a point. Where was the point? He already referred here. What he has to do? Focus then on the breath. What you have to do? The breath has to go equally. What else you must do? I'll read some shlokas till 15 and then we'll get in. Sama kaya shiro grivam dharyan achalam stiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam dishaswana valokayan prashantatma vigadbhihi brahmachari vrate sthitaha mana sanyamya machitto yukta asita tatparaha. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. So here, tip of the nose. I'm going to mark these points, okay? Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So Bhagavan now here, till now he was going on, okay? Meditate on the Supreme, meditate on the Supreme. But here, again he says, you can meditate on me. Mat paraha, asit mat paraha. You can sit and meditate upon me. And that should be the ultimate goal. So at one point he starts Sankhya, then at one point he'll say, okay, focus on me, if that is easy. Okay. Now let's read the purport of it. It's a beautiful purport, and then we'll try to understand it more. The goal of life is to know Krishna, who is situated within the heart of every living being as Paramatma, the four-handed Vishnu form. So this is one kind of meditation where you meditate in your heart and Vishnu is four-handed. The yoga process is practiced in order to discover and see this localized form of Vishnu and not for any other purpose. The localized Vishnu Murti is the plenary representation of Krishna dwelling within one's heart. One who has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti is uselessly engaged in mock yoga practice and is certainly wasting his time. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and the Vishnu Murti situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize this Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to observe complete abstinence from sex life. Therefore, one has to leave home, live alone in a secluded place, remaining seated as mentioned above. One cannot enjoy sex life daily at home or elsewhere and attend a so-called yoga class and thus become a yogi. One has to practice controlling the mind and avoiding all kinds of sense gratification, of which sex life is the chief. In the rules of celibacy written by the great sage Yagyavalkya, karmana manasa vacha sarvavasthau sarvada sarvatra maithuna tyago brahmacharyam prachakshate. The vow of brahmacharya is meant to help one completely abstain from sex indulgence in work, words, and mind, at all times, under all circumstances, in all places. No one can perform correct yoga practice through sex indulgence. Brahmacharya is taught, therefore, from childhood when one has no knowledge of sex life. Children at the age of 5 are sent to the Gurukul or the place of spiritual master, and the master trains the young boy in strict discipline of becoming brahmacharis. Without such practice, no one can make advancement in any yoga, whether it be dhyana, jnana, or bhakti. One who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life, having a sexual relationship only with his wife, and that also under regulations, is also called a brahmachari. So for married people, there is different rules. For unmarried who are following in this path of sannyasi, there's a different rule. Such a restrained householder brahmachari may be accepted in bhakti school, but the Dhyan and Dhyana schools do not admit even householder brahmacharis. They require complete abstinence without compromise. In the bhakti school, a householder brahmachari is allowed controlled sex life because the cult of bhakti yoga is so powerful that one automatically loses sexual attraction being engaged in the superior service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam raso api yasya param drishtva nivartate. Whereas others are forced to restrain themselves from sense gratification, a devotee of the Lord automatically refrains because of the superior taste. Other than the devotee, no one has information of that superior taste. Vigatabhihi, one cannot be fearless unless one is fully in Krishna consciousness. A conditioned soul is fearful due to his perverted memory, his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. The Bhagavatam says, Bhayam dvitiya Veshatah Syadishadapitesya Viparyayo Smritihi. Krishna consciousness is the only basis of fearlessness. Therefore, perfect practice is possible for a person who is in Krishna consciousness. And since the ultimate goal of yoga practice is to see the Lord within, a Krishna conscious person is also already the best of all yogis. The principles of yoga system mentioned herein are different from those of the popular so-called yoga societies. We will understand it all more, okay? Yujannevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaha shantim nirvana paramam mata sansthamadi gacchati. Thus, practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God by cessation of material existence. Now we will understand what Bhagavan is trying to say, how we have to do it, how we have to achieve. So Bhagavan started with the breath. In yesterday's class, I explained to you about Ashtanga Yoga. That is one of the ways to regulate the breath. Pranayama is very important. But again, in that also, I taught it because different, these are the popular methods in today's world, and students come to me from different backgrounds, and some of them have done Ashtanga Yoga, so they want to know. But when you read the Gita, Bhagavan mentions only about the breath. And Bhagavan mentions about the mind. He has not given Anulom, Vilom, Ujjayi, Brahmari, nothing. He has not given anything. He has just given that. And when Bhagavan has given something, that itself is important. People develop different methods using those foundations, but in its truest form, Bhagavan has only mentioned breath. I practice this, as I told you, through the Buddhism practices that I did. And there they have a technique called Vipassana. In Buddhism, there are two methods of meditation. One is the Samata meditation, equanimity, forbearance, bearing everything, sitting. Okay. Another is Vipassana. Vipassana is very popular nowadays. So many people, they do Vipassana and they say, I have done Vipassana, I've met so many of them. And people think that Vipassana is something new, something different, something it just came. But where the foundation of Vipassana, it is here in Gita. When did Bhagavan Buddha come? Around 2,500 years ago. Vipassana, because now the teachers, came out who propagated this, so Vipassana became famous now. But when did Vipassana start? No, not only after Buddha. Buddha said, before me also it was there. His gurus did it. They were practicing Sankhya. Alarka Lama, his guru, was practicing Sankhya. And in that Sankhya, he was practicing Samata. I told you there are two yogas they do, Samata Yoga and Vipassana. So he learned Samata from Alarka Lama. And then there was another guru, Upadatta Ramamurti. From him, he learned another one. He learned the Vipassana. Without Samata, Vipassana is not possible. Samata is being equanimous under all situations. Whatever is happening, Bhagavan says, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu, Sama Dukkha, Sukha Dukkhada, something like that goes. Okay. So even when you are even the weather is outside is very cold, or the weather outside is very hot, under all circumstances, a person is very controlled. That is called Samata. So when we were reading chapters, now we are in chapter 6. Now go back to chapter 6, Shloka number 7. Same word Bhagavan has used here. This is Samata. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha sitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha mana pamanayo. 7th Shloka. Chapter 6, 7th Shloka. This he will repeat again in different way. Bhagavan says, practice your mind. Be in that samata, be in that equanimity, be unwavered by heat or by cold, external conditions. Be unwavered by honor or dishonor. Be unwavered by anything that is related to this senses, to this mind. Always be peaceful. So this is samata. People talk about Buddhist meditation. I'm explaining how it is connected to Gita. Nothing new has come. Nothing new has come. Samata is being taught right from chapter 2. Bhagavan started Samata Yogam Uchyate. Samatvam Yogam Uchyate. Every chapter, not only 2, first chapter also he said that same thing. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, every chapter till 18th, he will talk about this, how you have to be equanimous, how you have to be undisturbed, unperturbed, controlling the mind, controlling the senses. He has told. So this is samata. Then now Bhagavan has started talking about the action, the kriya. And Bhagavan said, focus on the breath. Sit at one place. He said, go to a secluded place, sit there. Go to a sacred place. He has also told that. Today's Shloka, he uses the word sacred. He says here. Okay, he goes to a place, Shuchau Deshe, 11, 12. Shuchau Deshe. Shuchau means a very pure place, a very sacred place. So Bhagavan says, go to a very sacred place, go to a very pure place and sit and meditate there. So when he's teaching meditation, he's talking about a sacred place. So in India, we normally take the sacred place as all those holy places, Vrindavan, Rishikesh, Mathura, Narmada, wherever there is a very holy vibration. When you go to such holy places where there is a holy vibration, naturally your mind will be very peaceful. Naturally, you just looking at the Ganga, you don't have to make any effort. You sit near, go to Rishikesh. Rishikesh is one of the most beautiful places. You just sit near the Ganga and you're a different zone altogether. Your mind will stop thinking. It will not think anything worldly. It cannot think anything worldly. That's the beauty of that place, that's the vibe of that place. You go to Kedarnath, totally beyond. Your mind cannot think of anything. You will be lost in that. You sit near Bhagirathi or sit near Alaknanda, you're like in a different zone altogether. So Bhagavan for meditation is saying, go to such places which are pure. If you sit in the world, it is very difficult. Because you're living in an impure vibration all the time, mixed vibrations. But when you go to such places where the common goal of people there is to only think of God. Sadhus are still living. They're thinking of God. So that vibration is very different. So Bhagavan told us to go there, sit on an asana, and then first focus it here. He said, this is one place of focus. Now, in the next one, he said, Samam kaya shiro grivam dharya-na-chalam stiraha sampreksha nasika agram. One should focus on the tip of the nose. So first one he said here, or he said here. So two places he has given. Tip of the nose could be this also, okay? If you start thinking from here to here, then this is the tip of the nose. Or you can think here. Some people thought, oh, you have to become cross-eyed. No, you don't have to become cross-eyed. No. You don't become cross-eyed. You close your eyes. And then you focus on the breath. Inside, outside, inside, outside. The first, you will feel the breath in. It's very difficult to focus. Okay. So first you are feeling the breath inside the walls. And then slowly, slowly, slowly you bring right here in this area. This is what is taught in Vipassana. The first exercise is Kayanupasna. And in that Kayanupasna, first you have to focus on your body. And in that first focusing on the body, before that, you have to do your mind. You have to practice this mind exercise where your concentration is fully on your breath. And where is that breath? Where will you feel it strongly? Tip of the nose. Given here. So there's something different that was invented. Already given. The problem with us is we never referred, we never opened our books. We thought sadhus are fake. We should not even go near them. Gita is just like this. We don't want to open our books. Gita, we know it. And even if we don't know, who cares? But yes, I like to go to those shivirs, those camps, those yoga camps, those Vipassana camps. We learn something different there. Something different, something which does not talk about God, which does not talk about Murti Puja. So that is very nice. Talk so many good things. Well, that has already been spoken in our Gita. We drive away Buddhism from our country. Buddhism flourishes in other countries. And then other country people, they come and they teach us Buddhism. Same way with Bhagavad Gita. Same with Bhagavad Gita. All of us know Bhagavad Gita. When Prabhupada was giving, people were like, we know it. And nobody knows it. Really, nobody knows it. People, what do? They take the Bhagavad Gita, cover it nicely, put it in their altar, daily puja. Because my father was doing, my grandfather was doing, my uncles were doing, everybody does the puja of the Gita. By puja, what is going to happen? Just show the lamp. Just show the agarbatti to Gita. Oh, we worship Gita ji. Never open it. You never opened, you never seen. So then in such homes, some child is born and the child starts going to college, engineering college, medical college, and the child is developing his own wisdom. And then he comes at home and he looks at his parents, looking at the Gita and only doing this. And then he sees his parents have not changed. Their behavior is just the same. They are fighting all the time within themselves. There is no happiness in the family, fighting with each other. And they are so fanatic about those rituals. And when the kid questions them, what is this ritual? They don't know. The only answer will be keep your mouth shut. Paap lagega. Don't ask such sinful questions. Don't sin. What is sin? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Who wants to know what is sin? Because if you want to know, the day you know these actions are sinful, you will be scared to hell. So that is why it is better to just close the Bhagavad Gita, wrap it in a beautiful, nice cloth, put it in the altar, and then this too. Because the day you open the Gita, it will show you what all sinful things are there you do, and you will see that, oh my God, my life I was only sinning. But how to say those sinful tendencies were giving me joy, temporary joy, and I was sinning, and I want to continue in that temporary joy, knowing that I'm going to fall in a ditch, but what to do? I am enjoying that temporary joy. Let me just do. Don't open the Gita for me. It looks better when it is closed in that nice cover. Let me just worship. So the child of the home who is growing, intellectual child, your child intellectual. If you are intellectual and you are using your wisdom to commit sin and live the life the way you want to, your own product, your child also has that wisdom. And if he's using his wisdom, because every soul has his journey, if he is using his wisdom in the right direction, he will question you. What's the point of worshipping these gods? What's the point of worshipping this book? Is book God? Or what is the point of worshipping that God who is just made out of stone? He will question you and you will have no answer. Then he will lose. He will not understand. He's never opened the Gita because the parents never opened the Gita. Then he goes to these camps to find out answers. Same thing, given in a different packaging and it given in a very simple manner, understandable. So people think this is a new dharma. Dhamma. This is new dhamma. But that dhamma principles are in Gita chapter 6. Those dhamma principles were given long back. So this is one One example that I'm quoting in families. Second is, my uncle did it, my father used to do it. They used to read it every day. They knew the Gita by heart. They by hearted the Gita, but they didn't apply it. So the child sees, what's the point? They are still greedy. They are cheating people. They are cheating their own family members. They are always lying. Given a chance to steal money, they will steal also, and they will say how right it is. They'll justify. So other kind of people who read the Gita are like this. So the child who sees does not know, and is deluded, and then he has to go everywhere else to understand. Prabhupada saw this. India people say they know Gita. But it is not in their activities that they do are totally against the Gita. Then Prabhupada decided, okay, I translate it into English, I give it to the Western world, then the Western world will come to them, and then they will understand it. And that's what happened. He translated in English, he gave it to us, and then we could connect with Gita. Same way with Buddhism. We took great pride in driving it away from our country. And we took great pride in making it very, we attach it to a caste, the lower caste, the Dalits. We took great pride in that. Buddhism for Dalits. Buddhism goes and flourishes in other countries. And then it comes back to our country in a new fashion. And we think Vipassana is something great. Did you do Vipassana? Vipassana has become I don't know. Everybody's like, oh, I did Vipassana. And when I sit with all those people, Vipashis, if you really are good, because I know what Vipassana is. Life is Vipassana. I know. I don't have to go for a 10-day course. My life is Vipassana. I lived it through the pages of Gita. When I talk to these Vipashis, they'll call Vipashis. There are 8 things that Bhagavan Buddha taught. 8-fold noble path. And the first thing he teaches in that is Shila. Shila means morality. And in morality, he teaches Samma Vacha. Samma Vacha means right speech. So in right speech, the first thing is you should not say a hurtful word to others. If you have practiced Vipassana, truly, even for 10 days, when you came out from there, have you applied that vow that you took when you were practicing Vipassana? I will not say slanderous words. I will not say hurtful words. I will not be sarcastic. I will not lie. Are you practicing that in your life? You took the vow, but are you? Samma kamanta, right actions. In the right actions will be, I will not kill anybody. I will not hurt anybody. Are you doing that? Not kill anybody. Because not kill anybody includes no meat eating. As long as you're eating meat, you are hurting somebody. You will say, oh no, I don't kill an animal. No. If you stop eating, nobody will kill for you. Samma kamanta. Are you doing that? In Vipassana, they taught you, didn't they? They must have taught you, because Dhammapada is all about this. Did they teach you about being freed from lobha? These are akushala mula, unwholesome things that you should avoid. Did they teach you about being freed from lobha? So are you practicing that? Did they teach you about being free from hatred? Are you practicing that? Did they teach you about being free from moha, from delusion? Are you practicing that? No killing any living beings. No stealing. They talk about sexual misconduct. Kameshu michachara. And where is the sexual misconduct? Right now I learned it. We just read it. Mind. Are you practicing that? You know, sexual misconduct, when you read these books, the shloka I took here, karmana manasa vacha sarvavastau sarvada. At all times, practicing sexual misconduct, avoiding sexual misconduct means practicing brahmacharya all the time, which is what Bhagavan just told us in 14th shloka, practicing brahmacharya. That is avoiding sexual misconduct. Under all circumstances. How? From your mind, karmana, from your actions, from your mind, from your speech. I see people use galis. Galis means bad words. And those words are horrible. So are you practicing that? You attended a course and you're very pridefully, you come and tell, oh, I attended the course. I did it. Wonderful, you did. You made the first attempt to purify yourself. But after that purification, when you came back to the world, are you practicing it? No false speech. Did they teach you? Musavad. Are you stopping it? No harsh speech. Have you stopped it? No idle chattering, which is what is being taught to us also. Same thing in Gita. Control your vacha, control your vani, control your vani. So many times he has spoken this. Here, see. Are you doing that? Same thing. From your mind, thinking wrong, doing wrong things, strategizing for wrong gains. All this has to be avoided. Are you doing that? So when you attend a Vipassana course, it is wonderful. You have to attend, you have made a first step. But the main part is you come out of that and practice it in your life. Practice it in your life. Do not steal, do not kill, avoid sexual misconduct, no false speech, no slanderous speech, no harsh speaking, no, I tell you, this one is very important. No idle chattering, gossiping, talking about others. No greed, no covetousness, no ill will, no wrong view. Abstain from all of this. Then you are practicing Vipassana. Anyways, this Bhagavan teaches. Someone's mic is on. Can you please off the mic? Kavita. Mic off kar lena. Can you please off the mic? All right. So now we go to the path. Now we try to understand the path. So Bhagavan Buddha, what we are reading in chapter 6, Bhagavan Buddha gave it in the eightfold noble path. It consists of 3 things. First is Samma Vacha. Okay. Samma Kamanta, Samma Ajiva. These 3 things, they come under Sheel. So 3 main things, understand. Sheel, Samadhi, Pragya. This is his main. Sheel, Samadhi, Pragya. What is Sheel? Sheel means morality. So Bhagavan Buddha, first teaching is practice morality. Where will you practice morality? So first thing comes Samma Vacha. Samma Vacha means Samyak speech, means right speech. Second is Samma Kamanta, right actions. Right speech, right action. Third is Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Speech, I told you, no hate, no slanderous speech, no talking bad, no idle chattering, no gossiping. Practice this. Same thing Bhagavan will also say. No difference. Samma Kamanta, right actions. Not hurt anybody, not kill anybody. Always help others. All this is Samma, good karmas, good actions. Samma Ajiva. The money that you are earning has to be rightful from right sources. Normally, when people are earning, they want to cheat, especially in businesses and all. Cheating is a very common thing. You want to cheat the client also to make money. And I have seen when people cheat and make money, they will make a lot of money by cheating. It's very easy to make. But the way they made the money, same way the money will go also. Any of a person, very rich. And slowly, when we came to know about his ways of earning, and I realized what he thought was very wise and very smart. Anybody, when the worldly people listen to his talk, they'll be like, wow, yeah, this is what has to be done. This is how business has to be done. And there are so many places where he can very easily cheat. He'll cheat his client also. Very easy. Client will never come to know, but he's cheated. A lot of money. So a lot of money comes, and then this person didn't have a great relation with his wife. So 1 marriage, 2 marriage, 3 marriage, all 3 marriages failing. And all the three marriages paying only alimony to them. Then 4th girlfriend wants to marry. But now gone to the point where you doubt what if this also, gets into a divorce, and then 4th alimony. So the money you made from one side, somebody else is coming and taking from the other side. Maybe if you are, earning livelihood in the right way without cheating. People, they invest in businesses which will indirectly support meat eating. Indirectly. They'll say, we are not doing it. But no, if you are indirectly supporting a killing of an animal, you will be responsible. Samma Ajiva means right livelihood. You have to be very careful in your livelihood. Doctors, they can go on making money because when the patient goes, the patient is so naive. He does not know. Poor patient just goes with one problem, and the doctor will just do so many things. The doctor knows how to take the money, either from the insurance or from the patient. I know we are in that business, so I know how it happens. We had a company which approached us to make a software, and my husband was telling it that they wanted in the software there were some cancer tests. So the person the person said, okay, we want to make this test. They had to make some red line or something. He said, on purpose, change this so that the person will go for 3 tests. They only told us what to make so that the person will go for 3 tests. Even though the person does not have cancer, but at least he will do 3 tests, and after 3 tests, we will confirm that he does not have cancer. But you make this report. The report should appear in such a way that he has to go for 3 tests. The lab closed after some time. Cheating. Samma Ajiva. Making money through right ways. We think this is very important at this moment, but if you use your wisdom to earn that money, if tomorrow it goes away, you should not feel sad. So not to get into that state, Samma Ajiva. If you are a doctor, be a very nice doctor. Why do you want to make it a business? But then doctors will say, oh, we spend so much money studying. Everything became a business. So Samma Ajiva. So Bhagavan says, when Buddha said his path, he started with, first was Shil, morality. In morality, right speech, right action, right livelihood. First. Then if you follow this, then there is another part. You have to practice Dhyan, practice meditation. Meditation for what? For Samadhi. Samadhi means concentration. So the second part comes. First is Shila, Samadhi. So in Samadhi, there are three things. First is Samma Vyama, means right effort or right exercises. So now comes the meditation part. One was the action part. We are living in the world, we live like this. Next comes the meditation parts. How do you do that? So you are going to make an effort every day to control your mind. First thing it will start with Samma Vyama. You have to exercise your mind. What is that exercising of the mind? You have to introspect. What are the bad qualities that I carry? I listen to the teachings of Gita every day. Bhagavan has told me to be like this. What are these qualities which I am lacking? And what are the bad qualities which I am having? If Bhagavan says, do not lie, am I still lying? Am I casually lying? I will be watchful under all circumstances, no lying. So this is the exercise for the mind, being aware of no more lying. Am I attracted towards intoxication? Bhagavan said, no more intoxication. So am I just a social drinker in parties? One peg is enough. Am I still having that tendency? I will go to 0. I will not drink it. No matter what party I am sitting at, no matter what social pressure is there, I will not drink henceforward. Because this is not the right way, Bhagavan has told. So you start practicing that in your mind. So there are two things in your head, vices and virtues. So self-introspect and find out what vices you have, you remove them. What vices and another vices you should not get in. You were influenced by the world in the past, ignorantly. They put into you a lot of vices, but no more allowing those vices to come inside. Somebody is very greedy. We also became greedy because of them. They influenced us so much. No more. Somebody likes smoking. They got into weed smoking. We got influenced. We had it. No more. Somebody into drugs. They influenced us. We also got into it. No more. So vices and virtues. So remove the vices and don't allow any more vices to get in. And virtues, what are the good qualities we have? So those virtues, we will keep it. And any more good virtues that we have to develop, as per the dharma, as per the religion, we will develop. We will live rightly, we will talk rightly, we will work rightly, and we will meditate daily. Developing that virtue that we will meditate daily. So first exercise is exercise of the mind, right effort in samadhi, samyak vyayam. And the next is Samma Sati, mindfulness. Sati means mindfulness. We are working with the mind. The mind will not fall. Under all circumstances, the mind will not fall. So how will it not fall? Only when you are working with the mind. Only when you are aware. So this practice you have to develop every day. First, you know what is right, what is wrong, why it is happening. So developing that awareness. We will work for that. How that awareness will happen, we will understand. So when we are meditating, when Bhagavan is telling, go at a secluded place, sit down, meditate, this is what we are doing. It appears that we are not doing any karma, but we are working with our mind internally. Introspection is not an easy thing. See, this part, Sankhya, is different. I'll tell you the hardest sadhana of my life. Hardest sadhana of my life, if I will say, it is this path. Every other path was easy because it was very easy to focus the mind on external things. Very easy. You do Devi Puja, you look at the picture, whatever the picture is there, and your mind is only moving on the picture, and after a while your mind is concentrated. Very easy. Certain visualization techniques have been given to you. You start slowly thinking about those visualization, and those visualization will become live. Very easy. Certain mantras, very easy. Very easy. But here, when everything is removed, no more Devi, no more photos, no more nothing, just your mind. And you know how mind is. It's a mad house inside. My mind, I would sit with it. And mind would start talking to me. And I'm like, we are sitting and practicing dhyana. So what are you talking to me? Shut up. And how easily it will go, how easily it will slip. How easily. When you practice the mind, 5-6 hours, you have to just sit with it. 5-6-8 hours, sit with it. And you know how much it has to do, talk. First day, second day, third day. As if like how much it has to give to you. When they say mind is your best friend and your worst enemy, when they talk about a friend, you don't need anybody else. Your mind can give you so much. When 3-4 days happen from the sadhana, and you're not feeding it anything, you're just listening to it, watching it. After some time, the mind will be quiet. It does not know what to give to you. You are watching it, it is watching you. It's all internal game. It's happening inside. Like I said, you watch me. Sometimes I used to tell the mind, I used to play the game with the mind. Bhatakti Atma, yeah. So I used to tell the mind, the one who talks first loses. So in my mind, I'm telling the one who talks first loses. So the mind will sit and I'm sitting. Who starts talking when? We don't realize. We both don't realize. We are two people inside. The mind and me. How much? But then you realize, as you practice, you don't have to lose hopes. In the first day, it's tough. It's very tough. Second day is also tough. Third day is also tough. Fourth day, when you are going on, then slowly, the mind will keep quiet. For months you do this practice. You think, okay, now you have achieved. Now the mind is quiet. And suddenly after some time, the mind will give you pictures of your subconscious memories. Like I told you in Hindi class today. Like when I'm 1 year old. 1 year old, I've forgotten how I looked also at 1 year. No, there's no picture also. Those times there was no iPhones to just click picture of how I'm growing. I don't know how I was growing. I don't even have a picture of my 1 year old. How I looked. But I knew I see myself in that mind picture. Me, 1 year old, traveling in a train with my family, and there is somebody sitting near me, and I'm getting annoyed and I'm crying because I'm hating that person who's sitting near me. Mind is giving those pictures. Mind is removing memories. First it was talking, now it's shut up. Now it is removing memories which are like hidden deep down. Started removing memories where I was bad, where I enjoyed, whom I liked, whom I disliked, whom I hated. Those were my enemies whom I just wanted them to disappear at that moment. They have already disappeared. So mind started opening that exercise. And you, at that moment, those people whom you hated, some of them in this life, some of them in the past lives. They're coming. You know them very well. You see them, you want to hate them, you want to hit them there itself. But you can't. Because they are no more. Where are they? Where are they? Have they taken birth? Have they taken birth? Thank God, Bhagavan has given us a very bad memory. We don't remember our enemies from past life. Because if you come to know that your very own, say, brother or sister or your best friend is your enemy from past life, imagine what you will do. And if those memories come out, how are you going to react? Thank God we don't have it. So the mind, because your life cycle, your birth after birth after birth, whatever deep impressions you have stored, when you go and you do the surgery of your mind in Vipassana for months together, this is what the mind does. Every picture that you have hidden, you yourself have forgotten. Mind starts opening up. And you start realizing how much hatred you have stored over the years, how much liking you have stored over the years, and those people whom you hated, they are no more. Yes, you still have hatred for them, even though you've forgotten them, but the seeds of hatred is there. Seeds of love, attachment is still there. Seeds of liking is there. You have changed so many bodies, but those things, those memories are there. So when you are doing Vipassana, this is Vipassana, this is real Vipassana. You watch them, you witness them, and you come to the point saying these are all temporary. What will you do with the enemy of your past? They are not there in front of you. What will you do with the person whom you loved so much in the past? They are not with you. It was all a drama, a continuous drama for many births. Now you come to the point of realization. You realize that the way the drama was enacted for so many births, when you come back to, with all this realization, when you come back to this body, and when you are dealing with the people in the world, the same drama continues. It is just a drama. It is so temporary. Whatever you have liked or whatever you have disliked, everything is just your cause of suffering, nothing else. So after realizing like this, this is the practice. Samma Sati, being aware in the world when you are living. If you are hankering for something, craving for something, oh, I need this, this person, I need that person, or I need this thing or that thing. Temporary. Only this thing can, if I have this thing, it can give me happiness. Temporary. If I don't have this, I'm so sad. Temporary. I am suffering. Temporary. I'm in joy. Temporary. I have family. Temporary. I am alone. Temporary. This is the meditation that goes on. So, Samma Vyama, Samma Sati. Then comes Samma Samadhi. So, 3 parts of Samadhi. So, in Samadhi has to be understood as 2 things. One is the concentration. But actual Samadhi means the right type of concentration, which is called as Kushal concentration. Kushal means pure. Your mind is pure. There is nothing in the mind. Pure. What is there in the mind? In the mind, the seeds of hatred or seeds of aversion, as we call raga dvesh. Your mind is always harboring these seeds of liking, craving, or seeds of hatred, aversion. When you have successfully removed this, how do you remove this? By becoming a witness to all of that. And there is more. I will explain slowly. When you have successfully removed this, at that stage, when everything is crystal clear, that is called Samma Samadhi. Before that, there is concentration. So I told Samadhi has 2 parts. First part is concentration. Very strong concentration. That your mind is not going anywhere. Wherever, like Bhagavan here said, you have to concentrate on one point. So you have concentrated on one point. What was that point? It started from this breathing. Then it will go to other places also. So you concentrate on one point at one point. After that, the mind is not going anywhere. That is called concentration. But even after that concentration, as I told you, many images will appear. But even after so many images appearing, you're still not getting disturbed, not getting perturbed. Images come, images go, images come, images go. Then when you, with that meditation practice, you come out to the world, things happen, things go, things happen, things go. People come, people go. Situations happen, situations go. All anicca, 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 temporary, 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 temporary. So this way, the samadhi that you experience inside, you will practice it outside. So the first was concentration, but concentration is also samadhi. But I have always given examples like the cat. Cat is trying to attack a mouse. The cat is very concentrated. It is in samadhi. But that's not samyak samadhi. That's not the right samadhi. It's going to attack. The lion is trying to attack a deer. Fully concentrated. His mind is nowhere else. He cannot be disturbed. Fully on that to attack. That is also samadhi. A shooter tries to shoot. Shooter's concentration is so strong. A shooter cannot miss his target. If he misses, he'll kill somebody. Even if it's very far, his aim, he cannot be disturbed in his mind. So his mind is also very concentrated. That also is samadhi, but that's not the right samadhi. That is not samyak samadhi. A gun shooters. So samyak samadhi, the one which is experienced in meditation, is the mind is undisturbed by anything and everything, whether internally or whether externally. That is samyak samadhi. But to get into that external world and practice it, first you will have to practice internally. So how do you practice that? You have to use your wisdom. That wisdom is called panya or pragya. Same word Bhagavan has used in Gita. He started with being sthita pragya. You have to be sthita pragya. How do you develop that pragya, the panya? There are two parts to panya, pragya. Samma drishti ditti. Samma ditti and samma. So samma ditti is samyak drishti, means right view. And second part to pragya is samma sankappa. That is in Pali, but actually it means samyak sankalpa. So samyak drishti, samyak sankalpa means right view and right intention. Seeing everything in its correct picture. Like Bhagavan, when we were reading this, Bhagavan said, a yogi sees the rock, the stone, or the gold as equal. Now, this is right way of seeing. Because what happens, what is the wrong way of seeing? When you look at the gold, gold is so valuable, gold is so valuable, gold has so much value. If we lose our gold chain or gold something, we get restless. Oh, I lost my gold, I lost my gold. If somebody gives us gold, I got a gold, I got so much gold. And then we have so much gold, we put so much gold and we show to the world. We are so rich. That is not the right view. A right person, the right view is gold. It has value. Why does it have value? Because of the processes. But gold by itself is nothing but a transformation of dirt. There is no value. This is samyak drishti. Somebody is very beautiful. What is this beauty? I have described beauty so many times. Only the skin is beautiful, that's it. That also looks beautiful, but when you go closely, it's full of pores. And full of sweat. So that what you saw as beauty, you thought. So that Buddha says Ashubha, bad. There's no beauty. Whatever you think in the world is very good. When you see beyond it, there's nothing good. Whole world is full of dukkha, suffering, suffering, suffering. The one who realizes this does not get caught up in suffering. Who wants to suffer? Nobody wants to suffer. But wherever you go, thinking this thing will give me happiness, that thing will give me happiness, everything will end up in suffering. That's why, same thing. So one has to practice samata, samma drishti, see everything rightly. And then one must have right intention, samma sankappa, samyak sankalpa. So this is the eightfold noble path, what Buddha followed. What he gave us is exactly what is written in chapter 6. And it started from chapter 2. So the beauty of Gita is, whatever path you go in the world, it will have its origin in Gita. Bhagavan said it. Okay. So I'll just revise the eightfold path and then we will further develop it, the meditation and everything, in Monday's next class. So first you start with Shila, morality. Morality has 3 parts. Okay. So right speech, right action, right livelihood. This comes under morality. Second is samadhi. Samadhi has 3 parts. Right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Then comes pragya, wisdom. Wisdom has 2 parts. Right view, right intention. So with this we will end it up and then we will continue it in the next class. Let me just see any comments. All right, no comments, only mind is bhatakti atma. Yes, mind is bhatakti atma. So we will end up the class and we'll see you Monday. May you all have a good weekend. Krishnamay weekend to all. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Jai Shri Krishna, Ma.
Hari
Jai
Bol.
Shri Krishna.
Thank you.
Radhe Radhe. Hari Bol.